Welcome back to the class, friends. My name is Kausalya. In today's episode, I've got you some interesting problems based on quadratic equations, and I've picked up these questions from previous year question papers of bank PO exams and few government exams. Come, let us go solve them. In each of these questions, two equations numbered 1 and 2 with variables x and y are given. You have to solve both the equations to find the relationship between x and y. So the first equation is 11x plus 64 by x is equal to 54. Second equation is 12y square plus 40y plus 17 is equal to 0. Option A, x is greater than y. Option B, x is less than or equal to y. Option C, x is greater than or equal to y. Option D, x is less than y. Option E, x is equal to y, or relationship between x and y cannot be established. The first equation is 11x plus 64 divided by x is equal to 54. Let's take the LCM of these two. So it is x. So it will be 11x square plus 64 divided by x is equal to 54. So 11x square plus 64 is equal to 54x. Let us shift 54x towards the left side of the equation. So 11x square minus 54x plus 64 is equal to 0, and let's call this as equation 1. Now this is in the form of quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c. This is the same equation which we wrote 11x plus 64 by x is equal to 54 in this form. Now because this is a quadratic equation, a is equal to 11, b is equal to minus 54 and c is equal to 64. Now first we have to find out AC, which means multiply the constant along with the coefficient of x square. So constant here is 64 into coefficient of x square is 11. 64 into 11. 11 4s 44. 11 6 66. 66 plus 7 is 70. So 704. So 704, we can divide that by 2. So this will be 2 3 6, 2 5s 10, 2 2s 4, then 2 1s are 2, 2 7s 14, then 2 6 12, this is 2 8s 16, 2 8s 16, 2 4s 8, 2 4s 8, 2 2s 4, 2 2s 4, 2 into 11 is 22. Now we can group this 11 into 2, which is 22, and these numbers together. 2 into 2 is 4, 4 into 2 is 8, 8 into 2 is 16, 16 into 2 is 30. So we will take minus signs on both sides. So minus 32, minus 22, when we add them we get minus 54. Minus 32 into minus 22 is plus 704. So we are going to use minus 32 and minus 22. So how do we write this now? It will be 11x square minus 22x, then minus 32x plus 64, which is equal to 0. Now why did I take minus 22 this side? I could have taken this side also. I could have written minus 32 first and then minus 22x later. I have taken minus 22x first because we can factorize it easily. We can take common here and then write it. So here I am going to take 11x as common. Then we will be left with x minus 2. Here I will take minus common and 32 common. Again we will be left with x minus 2, which is equal to 0. Now if you take x minus 2 common, you will be left with 11x minus 32, which is equal to 0. So x is equal to plus 2 or x is equal to 32 divided by 11. So if you see for the first equation 11x plus 64 divided by x is equal to 54, when we solved it using this method, we got the values as x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 32 by 11. So for the equation 1, 11x plus 64 by x is equal to 54, when we solved it, we got the values x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 32 by 11. Now look at the second equation. It is 12y square plus 40y plus 17, which is equal to 0, which is already in the form of a quadratic equation. So here in this, value of a is 12, value of b is 40 and c is 17. Let us use the same method to find out the values. So the first step is to multiply a and c. 12 and 17. 12 sevens 84, 8, 12 ones 12, 12 plus 8 is 20. So we got 204. Now we have to find out two numbers such that when I multiply those two numbers I should get 204 and the sum of those two numbers should be 40. So 204, 2 tens, 2 twos, 2 fives, 2 ones, 3 ones, 3 sevens. So now 17 into 2 I can group it 1, 2 into 3 I can group it 1. So 3 into 2 is 6, 17 into 2 is 34. So 34 into 6 will be 204, 34 plus 6 will be 40. So we can write this as 12y square plus 6y plus 34y plus 17 is equal to 0. Now we can group these two and these two. Here I can take 6y as common. So this will be 2y plus 1 plus here I can take 17 common. So 17 2 is 34. 2y plus 1 is equal to 0. So if I take 2y plus 1 as common, I'll be left with 6y plus 17, which is equal to 0, which means 2y plus 1 is equal to 0 or y is equal to 6y is plus 17 is equal to 0, which means y is equal to minus 1 by 2 or y is equal to minus 17 by 6. So we've got the values for the second equation. 12y square plus 40y plus 17 is equal to 0. So this will be y is equal to minus 1 by 2 or y is equal to minus 17 by 6. For both equation 1 and 2, we got the values of x and y respectively. Now what do we have to do? We have to compare the value of x with y, which means compare the first value of x with the first value of y as well as with the second value of y, and compare the second value of x with the first value of y as well as the second value of y. How do we do that? I'm going to write x column and y column and write all the values. X is 2, which we are comparing it with minus 1 by 2. Again we are comparing 2 with minus 17 by 6. Then we are comparing 32 divided by 11 with minus 1 by 2 and 32 divided by 11 with minus 17 by 6. If you observe, all the values of y are in negative, which means we all know that any negative value is less than a positive value, which means x is greater than y in all the cases. So option A is the right answer. X is greater than y. I got another example which is of the similar question that we solved just now. The first equation is x square minus 4 into root 2 plus root 5x plus 16 root 10 is equal to 0. And the second equation is y square minus 5 into root 3 plus 2 root 2 into y plus 50 root 6 is equal to 0. And we got the options: x is greater than y, x is less than or equal to y, x is greater than or equal to y, x is less than y, or x is equal to y, or relationship between x and y cannot be established. Let's take the first equation: x square minus 4 into root 2 plus root 5 into x plus 16 root 10 is equal to 0. Let us open the brackets. X square minus 4 root 2x minus 4 root 5 into x plus 16 root 10 is equal to 0. Here we can take x common in both sides. So x into x minus 4 root 2. Here if you see, 16 can be written as 4 into 4, right? Similarly, root 10 can be written as root 5 into root 2. So we can write this as 4 into root 5x plus 16 we can write as 4 into 4. Root 10 we can write as root 5 into root 2 is equal to 0. So x into x minus 4 root 2 minus, here I can take minus common and 4 common. I can also take root 5 common. So minus 4 root 5 common. I'll be left with x minus 4. 1 is taken out, so I have 1. 5 is taken out, so I have root 2, which is equal to 0. Now we will take x minus 4 root 2 as common. We will be left with x minus 4 root 5, which is equal to 0, which means x minus 4 root 2 is equal to 0, or x minus 4 root 5 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 4 root 2, or x is equal to 4 root 5. So we got the values of first equation: x is equal to 4 root 2 or x is equal to 4 root 5. Similarly, let us solve the equation 2. I have written it here: y square minus 5 into root 3 plus 2 root 2 into y plus 50 root 6 is equal to 0. Now let us open the brackets. Y square minus 5 into root 3 into y minus 5 into 2 is 10 root 2 into y plus 50 root 6 is equal to 0. Root 6 can be written as root 3 into root 2. So here let's make this as groups. I can take y common. I will be left with y minus 5 root 3. Here I can take minus common. I can take 10 common. I can also take minus 2 common, because root 6 can be written as root 3 into root 2. So minus 10 into root 2. So it will be y minus 5 root 3, which is equal to 0. So y minus 5 root 3, if I take common, I will be left with y minus 10 root 2, which is equal to 0, which means y minus 5 root 3 is equal to 0, or y minus 10 root 2 is equal to 0. So the value of y is 5 root 3, or the value of y can also be 10 root 2. Now we got the values of x and y for both the equation. X is equal to 4 root 2, x is equal to 4 root 5, y is equal to 5 root 3, y is equal to 10 root 2. We also know the value of root 2, root 3 and root 5. Root 2 is 1.41, root 3 is 1.73, root 5 is 2.24. We will replace the value of root 2 and multiply it with 4. So root 2 value is 1.41. So when I multiply it with 4, 4 ones 4, 4 4 is 16, 4 ones 4, 4 plus 1, 5. So 4 root 2 value is 5.64. Similarly, root 5 value is 2.24. I'll multiply 2.24 with 4. 4 4s 16. Then I got 1 here. 4 2s 8. 8 plus 1 9. And then 4 2s 8. So 8.96. Similarly, 5 root 3. Root 3 value is 1.73. I will multiply this with 5. 5 3s 15. 5 7s 35. Plus 1 is 36. 5 1s 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8.65. Here 10 root 2. Root 2 value is 1.41. Then I have to multiply it with 10. 10 ones 10. So 0, 1 carry forward. 10 4 is 40. 40 plus 1 41. And then 10 plus 4 is 14. 14.10. So now this is the value of x and this is the value of y. Let us compare it. I am writing all the x value here. So 5.64 has to be compared with 8.65 as well as 14.10. Then 4 root 5 is 8.96. So 8.96 have to be compared with 8.65 and the same value 8.96 has to be compared with y second value which is 14.10. Here 5.64 is less than 8.65. 5.64 is less than 14.10. 8.96 is greater than 8.65. 8.96 is less than 14.10. If you observe, for some values x is less than y and for some value value of x is greater than y, which means we cannot establish any relationship between x and y. So option E is the right answer for this particular question. In today's episode, we have solved two interesting questions based on quadratic equation. I hope you have all understood, and remember, these kind of questions do appear in competitive exams. So practice it well. Happy practice, happy maths, and if you have liked the video, please do hit the like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching us.